The Center for Higher Education Evaluation and Research is a center of excellence in higher education studies aimed at serving the university's self-improvement and contributing to the development of the Vietnamese higher education system in accordance with international norms and standards.
CHEER was established for the purpose of conducting research and disseminating knowledge on higher education issues at the institutional or system level. The studies will aim at assessing the effectiveness of higher education institutions and systems, identifying problems, exploring what can be improved and how to improve it. Such findings will also provide data and information needed for national policymakers and other university administrators so that they can take actions for enhancing the quality of higher education. Lastly, through research activities carried out in alignment with international academic norms, the Center will promote internationalization of the university and the system.
Trung tâm nghiên cứu đánh giá chất lượng giáo dục của Đại học Nguyen Tat Thanh. Đây là một cố gắng, một nỗ lực của trường Đại học Nguyen Tat Thanh nhằm hướng tới chuẩn hóa chất lượng giáo dục đào tạo. Trường Đại học Nguyen Tat Thanh cũng mong muốn rằng trung tâm này sẽ mở rộng kiến thức cho cán bộ lãnh đạo cũng như giảng viên trong cái việc nâng cao chất lượng đào tạo. Trường Đại học Nguyen Tat Thanh cũng mong muốn rằng trung tâm này sẽ có những căn cứ, những dữ liệu, những phân tích nội bộ để xây dựng, điều chỉnh cái chính sách giáo dục đại học cho việc nâng cao chất lượng đào tạo của Đại học Nguyen Tat Thanh. Chúng tôi hy vọng rằng trung tâm này cũng sẽ thay đổi cái cách đánh giá của nhà trường đối với giảng viên và thay đổi cách đánh giá của giảng viên đối với học sinh sinh viên. Đây chúng tôi coi là hai khâu trọng yếu nhất, là hai chủ thể của việc nâng cao chất lượng giáo dục đại học. Chúng tôi cho rằng cái việc mà thành lập trung tâm này cũng tăng cường thêm cái giải trình trách nhiệm với xã hội, đóng góp cái trách nhiệm của mình đối với việc xây dựng cái chính sách giáo dục đại học cho Đại học Nguyen Tat Thanh nói riêng và cả hệ thống nói chung. Việc thành lập trung tâm nghiên cứu đánh giá giáo dục Đại học Nguyen Tat Thanh nó sẽ là một cam kết về việc không ngừng tăng cường chất lượng đào tạo và tăng cường hợp tác quốc tế đối với trường Đại học Nguyen Tat Thanh.
CHEER will strive to become a comprehensive resource in the field of higher education evaluation and research within Vietnam. A commitment to the principles and achievements of educational science, the establishment of working and productive connections with international scholars, and state-of-the-art educational research methods will bring about excellence in CHEER research and training programs, and will serve to strengthen the reputation of Nguyen Tat Thanh University within our international community.
The center's name is Center for Higher Education Evaluation and Research, abbreviated as CHEER. We cheer for our Vietnamese researchers in higher education studies who need encouragement and appreciation for their important contributions to society. CHEER is also abbreviated for the core values that we see as gold standards for our activities and behaviors.
To achieve this goal, our work is based on 5 core values that we see as gold standard for our activities and behaviors. They are to be collaborative, honest, efficient, effective, and reliable.
To be established as a center of excellence, CHEER is supported by an advisory board which includes international scholars who understand deeply about Vietnam. Dr. Jamil Salmi, global tertiary education expert and member of CHEER's advisory board, is a world-leading scholar in the field. His participation will ensure the international dimensions of the Center's research projects.
Very good afternoon. It's my pleasure to speak about the new Center for Higher Education Evaluation and Research. I really think that it is a worthwhile initiative. Higher education plays an increasing role in supporting the development of emerging economies such as Vietnam, but there is very little research on the contribution of higher education, on capacity building efforts, on what works and what doesn't work. So I welcome this initiative to establish this new center that will, I am sure, provide very useful research and policy dialogue material to support the development of higher education in Vietnam.
As a scholar who has had strong commitment to leadership training in Vietnam, Dr. Briller has expressed his support to the establishment of the center.
Nguyen Tat Thanh University has used every endeavor to build educational research and evaluation capability to improve the quality of training and create human and intellectual capital, which is a key to the development of a knowledge-based economy. Quality research in education is crucially important for Vietnam to provide data-based decision-making, accountability, and to make sure that educational system is on its way to improvement. Research and quality evaluation are also very important to help Vietnam integrate in the world higher education space. I am honored to be invited as a consultant to the center, and I will make sure that my experience in higher education research and evaluation will serve the center's goals and help achieve results that will be comparable with best international practices. Thank you very much.
A special member of the advisory board is Professor Nguyen Tat Thanh, who does not only provide advice but also directly supports the research activities of the center. Professor Thanh is a senior fellow of the Australian National Health and Medical Research Council and a research leader of the Garvan Institute of Medical Research. He is an international and national prominent researcher with more than 200 publications and an H-index of 65.
Cytometrics is a relatively young discipline. When I say young, I mean that its methodologies and application have been applied during the past 20 years or so, particularly in industrialized and developed countries. In those countries, they invest a lot of money for scientific research, and they want to know whether the investment match the productivity and the quality of research. Therefore, cytometrics is mainly concerned with three major areas. Number one is the productivity of research. Number two is the scientific quality. And number three, probably more importantly, is about the societal impact of scientific research. And these three areas are highly relevant to Vietnam. It's relevant because every year Vietnam invests about $600 million to scientific research. With that large amount of investment, it's not clear whether the scientific quality and the productivity really match with the amount of research. Therefore, through the Center for Higher Education, Evaluation and Research of Nguyen Tat Thanh University, we hope to improve the productivity and the quality of scientific research in Vietnam. And actually, we hope to improve the presence of scientific research in Vietnam in the international arena.
Having worked for several years with the Ministry of Education and Training in Vietnam, Professor Martin Hayden is very knowledgeable about higher education issues in Vietnam.
My name is Martin Hayden, and I'm the Professor of Higher Education and Dean of the School of Education here at Southern Cross University in Australia. I'm delighted to be a member of the Advisory Board for the Centre for Higher Education, Evaluation and Research at Nguyen Tat Thanh University. I've been engaged in higher education research for over 30 years. About 8 years ago, I became involved with research in Vietnam, and I've had a number of engagements in research projects in Vietnam since that time. One of the most interesting of these has been the opportunity to be involved in the development of a higher education master plan. This master plan was funded by the World Bank. It was a very significant project. It involved 7 international consultants and 8 national consultants. We produced a range of recommendations that have mostly been adopted by the government of Vietnam. Something else that I have been involved in has been the production of a book on the higher education system in Vietnam. This has given me a great deal of pleasure because, as I've appreciated over the years, there's not much written in English about the higher education system in Vietnam. Bringing together the various chapters of the book, and particularly involving Vietnamese scholars in the development of those chapters, is something I've been really happy about. Something else that makes me happy is to have as many as 6 PhD students from Vietnam. This is a wonderful group of people, very highly motivated, very capable, and it's been wonderful for me and for my colleagues to be able to engage with them and with their families. We hope that through the work that we're doing with them, we'll be making a valuable contribution to Vietnam and that they will go back with happy memories of their time as candidates for PhDs here in Australia.
Professor Nguyen Lap is the chair of the Academic Council of Vietnam's Institute for Educational Sciences. His understanding of the international context and Vietnam practices will contribute greatly to the Center's activities.
I am excited to learn about the establishment of a research center in education entitled Center for Higher Education Evaluation and Research, or CHEERS, at Nguyen Tat Thanh University. The establishment of the center will definitely make a valuable contribution towards the provision of reliable scientific evidence for policy decision making regarding education in general and higher education in particular at national and institutional level in Vietnam. Secondly, I would like to emphasize the fact that Nguyen Tat Thanh University is probably the first private university to establish a research center in education. As a professional education researcher, I see this as a historic landmark. And the establishment of the center proved that there is an increased awareness by society about the value of research in education and society's expectation for better contribution of research in the development of higher education in the country. And finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Center, Nguyen Tat Thanh University, for their trust in appointing me as a member of the advisory board of the center, alongside so many other well-known scholars in the world. Once again, I congratulate the establishment of the center, and I look forward to serving the center to the best of my abilities to ensure its success in their upcoming activities. Thank you.
Professor Philip Atbach is well known as an international scholar in the field of higher education studies. His recent book, co-edited with Jamil Salmi, The Road to Academic Excellence, was partly translated into Vietnamese. This book has had a great impact on the thinking in higher education.
Research and training in the field of higher education are of prime importance for the development of high-quality and effective universities worldwide. It is particularly important that in Vietnam, your center is beginning this process of research, development, and professionalizing the administration of universities. It's essentially important because universities have become large and complex institutions that have multiple functions in the post-industrial society. So for Vietnam to have excellent universities, it has to have institutions that will collect information, analyze information, interpret data, and provide useful guidance to academic administrators and others who are involved in the management and the governance of universities. To have trained researchers, to develop the kind of expertise that's necessary, and to provide the kind of education in what a university does in the world is of central importance.
These are prominent scholars who have both international experiences and awareness of the Vietnamese situation. As members of the advisory board, they support the center in its endeavors, staff development, and strategic planning. The center has a collaborative research team, including researchers and other organizations. The collaborative scheme is open to enable cooperation on specific projects. To coordinate all personnel and resources and support the research activities, the center has a coordinator, an English editor, a designer, and an office manager, all working under the leadership of Dr. Pham Thi Lee, the director of the center. The center has three focus areas: research evaluation, performance evaluation, and testing. The Center has 2 regular publications, a bi-monthly newsletter on international higher education and a newsletter on higher education evaluation and research. It also provides other publications such as conference proceedings or book series. Workshops and seminars, as well as media interactions, are also major activities at the Center. The Center also provides training programs in research, teaching, and evaluation methodologies. We trust that every one of us is part of the solution and hope that the Center's endeavors will contribute meaningfully to the development of higher education in Vietnam. We also hope to receive your support and collaboration that will enable the Center to achieve its goals and missions.